Hello everyone, it's Pat from Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to talk about making your own hoops and making a floating hoop earring. So the earrings are like this, and they are made with two hoops, and they float one inside the other. So they're very movable and quite a pretty design. So let's get started. What I took was two of our bead vials, the larger size and the smaller size, and that's the amount of size I need for making the two hoops. And I'm working with 16 gauge wire, which is a heavy wire. Comes in quite a few colors, but it also works really well for making a hoop. All right, so what do? Take the wire, work with the curve that comes off the roll, because that's always a good way to keep your curve really nice. So move this around and overlap by about an inch. So there we are, overlapping the wire, and then I'm going to give that a cut. There we are, quite stiff, so it takes quite a cut. So that's the one hoop, and then the other one will be made with this size of circle. You can make them, of course, at any size circle that suits you, but this is just my design that is using these particular sizes. Overlap again by about an inch, and we'll cut that. Oh goodness, there we go. So once we get the circle made with the hoop, I'm going to go to my round nose pliers, and I'm going to take the inside one here, and we're going to turn it inside, and then the outside one I'm going to turn to the outside. So get a good grip on these, because again, with a stiff wire, it takes quite a turn, quite a muscle to turn. And then this side, I'm going to grab about there again, right at the end of the wire preferably, and give it a good turn. So you get something that looks kind of like that. So again, same exact thing with the other size hoop. I'm going to turn the inside one to the inside, and then the other one we're going to turn to the outside. Just give it a little straighten. Okay, so that's how we were going to make the basic hoop. Then I'm going to need a piece that's 2 inches long in order to make the earring hook that's on here, and 1 inch long for the piece that, so here's, hold them sideways, 2 inches for this piece, and then I have a little piece that goes through the bead at the bottom and hooks into the very bottom, so I need a 1 inch piece for that. So we'll cut that, a 2 inch piece of wire, and a 1 inch piece. And again, when you're working with a product like this where it's going to go against your skin, you're going to have to work with files to trim so my 2 inch piece for my earring hook, and a 1 inch piece for the little piece that goes along the bottom. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So 1 inch is there. There we are. So we have the two hoops, and we have the 1 inch piece and the 2 inch piece. So onto our hammering block, because these are hammered. So the larger one, we're going to just take, and when you're hammering on a block, we want to go kind of off to the side like that. And this will flatten. And of course, keep the fingers out of the way. Most important. And there we are. Okay. So I'm thinking you might not want to listen to me hammering everything. So I will continue on with some of the other ways of doing things. We're going to make the earring hook. I didn't hammer the earring hook. Just use a Sharpie, roll it around to get the curve on the earring hook, like that. My round nose pliers are going to make a little hook on the end here. And this will hook onto our earring piece. And then on this side, we just give it a little turn to make it look attractive. Push that in just a bit. Now this is where we're going to use the burr cup, because this piece is going to go through the ear, so we want this to be really nice and smooth. So this is a tiny little file that will smooth that in nice. It just is exactly for wire, so it hooks right into the piece of wire, and we're going to get a nice smooth piece on the end there. So that's my earring hook that's going to go along the top here, as I have in the copper pair. And in this piece, we're just going to straighten it out a little bit more, and I'm going to hammer the end only. Like that. And now this part here is still fairly sharp, so I take a standard type file and I'm going to round that nicely. Just give it a little file on each side. You can always check whether it's smooth enough with the finger. If it's rough on the touch, then we don't want to use that. There we go. Just a little bit, that's all it takes. Okay then, just to finish up, we want to take and put the little bead on the bottom and with a loop on the top, and then I want to close up all the circles, because you want them so that they're not going to come apart when you're wearing them. So it takes a fair push with this gold material. The copper that I made the first one out of here, that's already finished, it is actually much easier to work with. So maybe for a starter you might want to try the copper instead of the gold, but you can use any color. Everybody can choose their color and see what works for you. Thanks for watching.